Hindu Nationalism Part 3. In particular, the conversion of the lower caste Hindus to Islam and Christianity has always been the greatest single cause of fear among the Hindu nationalists. Since the growth of caste-based provincial parties in northern India has been one of the greatest drivers of the disintegration and paralysis. Sorry, I beg your pardon, please. Let me reiterate it and repeat the sentence over here. Since the growth of caste-based provincial parties in the northern India has been one of the greatest drivers of the disintegration and paralysis of the political scene in India in recent decades, Hindu nationalism has therefore been able to claim for itself the image of a unifying and modernizing national force, dedicated to achieving the universal ethno-religious nationalist goal of a homogeneous Hindu national sovereign people. In economics, Hindu nationalism has attracted the support of culturally conservative but economically dynamic rising Indian middle classes. Modi has massive support in the highly successful Indian diaspora in the United States, Britain, and elsewhere. So Hindu nationalism cannot be dismissed as a reactionary product of a declining and economically retrograde society. At the same time, the greatest symbol behind which Hindu nationalism continues to rally, and which is one of the chief causes of religious violence and oppression in India, is also historic cause of Western educated mirth and the classic target of the liberal secular scorn. That the government of an aspiring superpower, what will soon be the world's biggest country by the population, with some of the world's highest rates of economic growth, can be passionately attached to the economic growth, and it can be passionately attached to the worship of cows, leading to a string of vigilant murders of alleged cow killers by Mr. Modi's supporters. This is an affront to modern liberal assumptions deeper in its way than that offered by the communism, which after all stemmed ultimately from the same European secular rationalist and utopian roots as Western liberalism. The fact that agitation over cow slaughter has also served the eminently modern purpose of political mass mobilization and electioneering does not really make it any better from a liberal point of view. The ascendancy of Hindu nationalism also gives considerable support to the famous or infamous clash of civilization theory of Samuel Huntington, one of the great hate figures of the contemporary liberals. For if there is one thing that Modi and his Hindu nationalists insist on, it is that Hindu India constitutes a separate civilization, not only religiously, culturally, but also politically, and a civilization in actual or a potential conflict with the other civilization. This is a civilization which is actually in conflict with the other civilization. Yet at the same time, Hindu nationalism also contradicts Huntington's theory, because while its exponents certainly see Hindutva as a civilization force, they also see it as an embodied in a particular national state. Hindutva is inseparable from the idea of Indian national greatness, and the power of this idea comes precisely from its association with great power nationalism. Hindu nationalism in this sense does not support at all Huntington's idea of the decline of state nationalism and the state power any more than it corresponds with the fading liberal myths of the evolution of nationalism through globalization. We'll tell you more about the same in our next video.